Okay, I have a quick review for you this time. It's for a free program. There's no pro version. It's AVG AntiVirus, the Mac version. There is a Windows version, free and paid for pro version. There's only a free version on Mac, and I will review the Windows Pro version soon. I have it installed and I've checked it out. I just haven't made the review yet. This is for the free Mac one. There is no paid for version anymore. It's just 100% free on Mac. There isn't as many options. There isn't all the performance tweaking. There isn't all the preferences on the Mac one, but you have the protection, which is what you mainly want it for anyway, and especially for free. Now let's take a look. Up here, it says connected. It will say disconnected if you're not, and you can optionally click here, click connect, log in with your AVG Zen account, username and password, and then it will say connected up here and return to this screen. You don't have to. You can still get your virus definitions, etc. without being signed in, but if you want to, that's how you do it. Here it says if you're up to date with your virus definitions or not, and it will automatically get new updates each day. But to make sure you're up to date as often as possible, every so often you can go here, click for check, and it will check, and it will say install, and if there's any, then it will say you're up to date. Or you can do it from the menu bar here. You can scan, which will start the scan, of course. Open is to open this window if you haven't got it already opened, and check for updates from there as well. This is where you can scan. You can hit scan. It will have a little animation going around saying like 10%, 20%, etc. there. Then if there's any threats, it will say view threats, and you click that and it will open quarantine, or it will say no threats, and you just hit OK and return this normal looking screen. This is a handy little feature here, virus scanner, which file scanner, which is where if you say you've just downloaded a zip with a program in it, whether you want to check it for a virus, you can drag it from your Finder onto here, and it'll just check that file or the zip file full of files, whatever, without having to scan your whole Mac each time. If you have just downloaded one or two things, you can drop them on here and scan them one at a time while doing a full system scan. You can turn off full-time always on protection from here, or turn it on. I recommend you have it on, then you're in real time protected constantly. This is the quarantine. You can go here, and if you've run a scan and it's found some possible threats, it'll list them here. It will move them out of the way so they don't affect your system. And if it's a mistake, if it's a false alarm, you can tick the ones you want to restore, hit restore up here. Or if you know these are definitely threats or pretty sure they are, you can tick the ones that you want to delete and permanently delete them from here as well. And we can hit back to go to the main interface. Now let's have a look at the About box. It's the latest version of the Mac edition. It's completely free, and it's version 2015.0, which is the latest version at the time of making this review. You can see your virus database number, your scan engine version, and your virus definitions update date. And it says last updated on March 8th, 2016. And as you can see, it's March 8th here. So there has been an update today. And you'll find that there's at least one virus definition update each day. It does automatically check for updates, but if you want to check more often than say once a day or however often it is it does it, you can manually check from here or from the menu bar icon. When you're scanning, this menu bar icon will be animated in turn until the scan finishes. Let's have a look at preferences. We can move all threats of quarantine instead of just deleting them in case there's some false alarms, which sometimes there are, and you want to restore those files. So I would really recommend you leave that ticked. This is to show, display, or to get rid of the menu bar icon up here. If we untick this, it's no longer up there. I recommend you have it because it's a nice, quick, easy way to scan when you want to check for updates, or to open this interface here if you didn't already have it open. So I quite like to have it up there, and every so often, if I remember, I hit here, click check for updates, and manually check, even though it does it automatically. So I recommend you do show that. This is to send anonymous usage statistics to AVG. You can untick it if you don't like that sort of thing, but when programs have this, I normally just leave it on to help them out. Scanning, you can scan within archives such as zip files. This I recommend you turn on at least once, do a full scan of your system to check any archives on your computer. It will be slower doing that. So I do it once every so often, and then normally just to do a little scan, I leave this off because it takes a lot longer to scan your computer. You can scan external hard drives, etc. here. You can scan for potentially unwanted applications, PUAs here. You can use enhanced scanning to be more accurate, but it does take longer. So again, like archives, I do that once every so often, but usually have it turned off because it takes much longer to complete a scan. Quarantine, we can put our system password in here by ticking this padlock. Then we can change the settings here. So we can turn off automatic file deletion from quarantine. Now with the current settings, it will delete any files in the quarantine when they're 30 days old or older. And it'll have a maximum number of files in the quarantine, 1,000. So it'll be up to 1,000 in the quarantine at one time unless you restore or delete them. If you want to, you can hit this padlock, put in your system password, and turn automatic file deletion off so it never gets rid of files from your quarantine automatically. Or you can lower the amount of days or raise the amount of days, etc. here. Now, in exceptions, occasionally it's very thorough, so it's very precise. So sometimes it will be a little too overprotective, and it will think some files might be a virus or something, and it's actually not. Well, you can add them to exceptions here. When that happens, it will normally have a pop-up saying add to quarantine or add to exceptions, and you can add it to exceptions from here, or you can go to this preference window, go to exceptions tab, unlock it using the padlock, press plus and manually add files and folders, etc., or remove things from the list here. But it's good that it's overprotective because you just have to add it to exceptions once if it makes a mistake, and then you're good. It's better to be safe than sorry. You can also uninstall the program from here if you need to as well. And that's about it. It's 100% free. So if you haven't got an antivirus program on, or if it's a free open source one or something, you're not really sure about how good it is, I recommend this because it's 100% free and it's by a well-known company called Antivirus Guard. The very first version in the early to mid 90s was called Antivirus Guard. Then they shortened their company name to AVG, but it still stands for Antivirus Guard. And anyway, they've been around since the early to mid 90s. They've been around for a long time. They're very well known. It seems to get virus definitions every single day. Since I've had this installed and using it every single day, I've had at least one. Sometimes it will get updates more than once each day. So it's a very good program. It does find stuff, and you can add it to exceptions list if it's a mistake, etc. It's a good free antivirus program. And I will be making a review for the paid for pro version on Windows very, very soon. And I'll add that to my channel. You can download it free from Mac, AVG Antivirus for Mac, free from avg.com. I'll put a link in the description. Thanks for watching. Please like and comment on this video, and if you could do me a huge favor and subscribe to my YouTube channel, as it only takes a few seconds and will help me out a lot. Thanks.